Okay, we're going to solve trig equations linear in form that you will have when you do your daily work for this one. This is your 41, and 41's quite complicated, so we'll do that one, but it won't be on your test or anything. Okay, so the first one is we have sine theta plus cosine of theta equals 1, and that is 0 to 2 pi. So if you look at this, there's not much you can do with this. And if you recall in Algebra 2, and when you did that quiz, if you square both sides or you square root both sides, you always have to check for extraneous solutions. So what I'm going to do here is just square both sides. So I'm going to take both sides and square it. And the only thing we're going to have to do is check. So when you square this, you get, I'm going to use the a plus b squared formula, which equals a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Now, this is going to be sine squared plus 2 sine cosine plus cosine squared equals 1. Now, we know that these two here equal 1. So you have 1 plus 2 sine times cosine equals 1. Subtract 1 from both sides and you get 2 sine cosine equals 0. We know that this equals sine of 2 theta from our identities, equals 0. So you can do it this way, or we could just break this up. So I think it's just easier on this case to break these two up. And so we're going to do that on the next page. We have 2 sine of theta equals 0, and cosine theta equals 0. So we have, for this one, we have, for 0, we have pi over 2. And that equals 1 there. So this would be, for this one, would be 0 and pi. And this one would be pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. Now, since we squared both sides, we have to check. So we're going to go ahead and go back to the original equation and check. We have sine of theta plus cosine of theta equals 1. And let's check. Let's plug in 0. First one, where theta equals 0. And sine of 0 plus cosine of 0 equals, sine of 0 is 0, so that goes away. Cosine of 0 is 1, so we have 1 equals 1, so this works. Let's try pi. We have sine of pi plus cosine of pi. Does this equal 1? So sine of pi is 0, but cosine of, so that's 0. But cosine of pi is negative 1. And negative 1 does not equal 1. So you have to disregard this one. We cannot take this one. Okay, the next one is pi over 2. Let's let theta equal pi over 2. So we have sine of pi over 2 plus cosine of pi over 2, which equals 1 plus 0, which equals 1. So this one works. And the 3 pi over 2 is not going to work because you'll get negative 1. You'll get something like you did with this negative 1 here. So we only have two solutions, and they are 0 and pi over 2. Main thing is you're going to have to check them all. You have your unit circle chart, so that should make it easy. And this one was in your book. This is example 6. if you need a better view on that. Okay, the next one. This is your 41, and it's quite complicated. So let's just look at 41. We have sine of theta minus root 3 cosine of theta equals 1. Now, you can kind of guess and check here. If you want to notice that if you try, I'm going to go ahead and try because I know my angles really well. I'm going to try pi over 2. So I'm going to let sine theta be pi over 2. And we get minus root 3 cosine pi over 2. And what happens here is cosine of pi over 2 is 1 minus root 3 times 0. That equals 1. So in this one, it's very clear that my solution is pi over 2. The other one I know of is 7 pi over 6. So I'm going to get sine of 7 pi over 6 minus root 3 times 7 pi over 6. Oops, sorry. Cosine 7 pi over 6. So what I'm going to get there is negative 1/2 minus root 3 times negative root 3 over 2. And this gives us negative 1/2 plus 3 over 2, which gives you 2 over 2, which equals 1. So those are basically our two solutions. And that's by guess and check, which we don't want to do. But I just want to show you what the whole thing's about. So this is what they're going to do. They're going to take sine of theta minus root 3 cosine of theta equals 1. And they're going to divide everything by 2. So you have sine 1/2 sine of theta minus root 3 over 2 cosine of theta equals 1/2. Alright? Now, they're going to use the sum and difference formula. In fact, they're going to use the difference formula of sine of theta minus some alpha, let's just call it alpha, equals 1/2. And in that case, our formula would be sine of alpha cosine, whoops, it's not alpha, it's theta now, theta cosine of alpha minus cosine of theta sine of alpha. Now, sine, when you do that, they're going to let cosine of alpha equal 1/2, and they're going to let sine of theta alpha equal root 3 over 2, and this alpha happens to be pi over 3. Okay? Now when they do that, they're going to say that, well, theta minus alpha equals pi over 6. So theta minus pi over 3 equals pi over 6. And theta equals pi over 6 plus pi over 3. So theta equals pi over 2. In this case, on the other side, we're going to have theta minus alpha equals 5 pi over 6, because this is where cosine of alpha equals 1/2 and sine of alpha equals root 3 over 2. Okay? And this is based on the unit circle. Again, don't worry so much about this because it's not going to be on your test. So we have theta minus pi over 3 equals 5 pi over 6. So theta equals 5 pi over 6 plus pi over 3. You get all your common denominator stuff. Plus pi over 3, sorry. So theta is going to be 7 pi over 6. Again, this right here would actually be 5 pi over 6 plus, if we need the common denominator, that would be 2 pi over 6. So that would give you that. And those are your two solutions. Alright, I just wanted to write this out for you if you want to look at it, and we can talk about it in class if you would like. But don't worry about 41, okay? That is all.